Hey guys, Silgark here, and welcome back to a brand new Animal Jam video. Today I have kind of a story time for you, but a little bit different. Today I'm going to be naming a lot of the mistakes that I've made on Animal Jam. Just things that I did when I was newer, or just didn't know I was doing wrong. It's just kind of funny to look back at things like this, so I hope you will enjoy. Mistake number 1 is a pretty funny one that I only learned I was thinking wrong a few weeks ago, actually. I know that sounds really weird, but guys, the mistake was I used to think Senpai was an Animal Jam player. I know that sounds really weird, guys. I used to think, because people sometimes would call me Senpai, I think that's how you pronounce it, guys. I could be wrong. It could be I don't know. But I used to think that that was a player. And I looked up that player username, and turns out I was completely wrong. This sounds absolutely hilarious to somebody who had no idea what that meant. And I literally thought that somebody was calling me this super good Animal Jam YouTuber I've never heard of before. And I just think that is really hilarious. The second mistake I would make when I first joined Animal Jam was thinking that Animal Jam was super laggy. And like loads all the time. It never lets you play adventures or anything. I thought this was why nobody was ever joining any adventures except for the Forgotten Desert, which is obviously not true. But that's because I was playing it on Internet Explorer, and as you probably know, Animal Jam is not a laggy game. It can be laggy, but it is not that laggy for me, guys. I don't know, I just really thought it was laggy, and I still really enjoyed it, but I was like, why do people play adventures when you can't even play them? That is one of the biggest mistakes I ever made, was playing on Internet Explorer. Probably the worst place to play Animal Jam on. Mistake number 3 that I have made on Animal Jam is a little bit longer. So the first spike I ever got was a little bit weirdly gotten. So I was just going around. I had gotten a pretty large amount of clothing betas, good din items, and maybe one like fake din beta and stuff like that, but I thought I had some pretty good items, and I wanted to get spikes. I knew nothing about their worth, I knew nothing about the color order or anything like that. I just wanted one. And so I put all of my clothing betas on trade and said my list for any spike. That was my mistake. So the first person jagged me and said that they would give me my list, orange long wrist for my list, which I think was actually pretty fair. But another person said they would give me a green short wrist, which you probably know is worse. But knowing me, I chose the green short wrist over the orange long wrist. And I completely overtraded for it. I traded like 4 din beta worth for one really bad wrist that was only worth a little more than 2 din betas, like probably only 2 din betas. I still regret making that mistake, but I did work up and it actually turned out to be fine. And why am I dressing it completely randomly? Okay, I do not look like a vegetable, but okay. Mistake number 4 that I made, I still regret to this very moment. I am still very sad that I did this. I don't know why I did this, but basically, I was at a gifting war place. It was my first time ever going to a gifting war place in my whole entire Animal Jam gameplay. I had not been playing very long, but somebody had gifted me this rare chicken hat, and I will get to that later. So I had this rare chicken hat, and I thought it was completely ugly. I thought it was worth maybe 1 rare item Monday or something. And so during the gifting war, somebody gifted me like a rare blanket, and I gifted them back the rare chicken hat. And then after a while, somebody said, give me a rare chicken hat for my black log. I was just completely freaked out. I was like, I used to have one of those. Why don't I still have it? And then I realized I'd gifted it away. And then I looked up the worth, and it was worth a black long collar to a good long collar to a black long collar. And I really regret trading that, gifting that. Actually, I got absolutely nothing for that. Gifting that item away. I really wish I hadn't done that, because I probably could have had an extra long if I had not gifted that away. Another mistake I have made for a very long time until a couple months ago was ignoring the journey book. I should have done the journey book, and now I still have a long way to go for the journey book. I never thought about it. I never thought about it at all. I thought it was just really not important, and I didn't know you got gifts for it. But back then, I had no rares or anything, and having that gift would have been really, really nice, guys. And I mean really nice. I would have loved having any gift at all, even if it was a completely bad gift that is worth like a couple rare item Mondays, if that. Probably not even worth that. But I really wanted that. I would have really, really wanted that seahorse fountain or any other thing that they now have for the journey book. It would have been really, really cool. So guys, don't ignore the journey book if you have absolutely no items and you just joined or something like that. It's not worth it. You should definitely do the journey book. It's really cool. Mistake number 6, I think it's number 6, was thinking the Forgotten Desert was harder than it actually was. When I first got Puffin Browser and was actually able to play Animal Jam and do the adventures and stuff like that, I had not played the Forgotten Desert very much at all because it was impossible on Internet Explorer. And so I always tried to do the purple gems. Even if the people didn't want to do it with me, I would always try sitting down on it, but it would never, ever work. Because the purple gems, if you don't already know, are absolutely horrible. You should not do them. They take up way, way too much time, and you don't necessarily even get good items from them. In fact, I've never gotten good items from them. But I would always keep doing that and always keep failing, and I just thought that adventure was the hardest adventure in the world. I was just so confused, and then somebody told me never to do purple gems, and so I tried it, and guess what? It actually worked. I did it way better if I didn't put the purple gems into my head. Mistake number 7 is a pretty common one, which was thinking that member items were for both non-member and member. When I first joined, I thought this for a long time. So I ended up collecting a lot of items, a lot of store-bought items, and other stuff like that. That was just really a lot. I ended up spending all of my gems on store-bought items, and then trying to trade it for this rare feathered boa. And if you don't already know, that's a member item. I wanted it super bad, and then traded all my items for the person's item, and they accepted, and I got this item that I couldn't wear. So just to let you know, any people who are new out there, there are differences between members and non-members items. I don't know what I was even thinking. But just for the people who don't know, that is a member item with that little key there, and this is a non-member without that key there. It's really obvious. I have no idea how I messed up on that, but anyway. Mistake number 8 that I have made is falling for unreleased items. As you probably know, some people go into the Jamaa and say unreleased item on my trade, and it's not even unreleased. Sometimes it's just from the secret land that is right around here, and sometimes it's just an item that's from a toy or something. And so somebody was trying to get people to trade them rare items for this not rare item at all. And I thought it was rare, and I traded a couple of rare item Mondays. And back then, I had no rares, and those were like my only rares. I wanted that supposedly rare item, and I got it. I was super excited. I went to Jamaa and I said, unreleased item on my trade, and then people started calling me scammer, and I got super upset. The best thing to do is not fall for unreleased items. Unless you start seeing a bunch of people say unreleased items, don't fall for it, guys. It's probably not unreleased. Mistake number 9 is kind of a just funny noob one that we probably all have done before, and that is spending all of your gems. When I was new, I used to spend all of my gems. Every time a new item would come out that was non-member, I would buy it. And I kept buying and buying and buying and never had any gems left. I had to keep playing games over and over again. Even though the best thing to do is kind of save up your gems for something that you will really want in the future, and then you'll always have gems to spare, always have gems to buy stuff, and most of the time you will never ever run out of gems. Number 10, and sadly the last mistake on this list, is a pretty funny one. So, as you probably know, when you first start out, you don't know what betas are. You definitely do not know what betas are. And so, I saw people going around saying, trade me den betas. I was completely confused. Cause, duh, you'd be really confused. I had no idea what beta meant or anything. I was just completely, not knowing. I had no idea what that was. And so I went around and I looked inside the stores to see if I could find anything that was beta. And so I found something that I thought for sure had to be beta. And guess what that is, guys? Guess what I thought was beta? Oh, it's not even in stores anymore. Never mind. I thought beta was this item that no one would think was a beta, obviously. I thought this was a beta, guys. I thought this was the beta because, as you probably know, they're all beta fish. So I thought that this little thing was what everybody was asking for. So I asked people to trade it for my expensive store-bought items, and I got a ton of them. And then I traded them for a spike because that's what somebody was asking, and they said, no, that's not beta. And I said, but it is. And they said, nope, it's not. And so I had just wasted all those items and all those gems to get all these little fishbowl things that were not even beta, but are really, really cool. You have to say, these are one of the coolest items I've ever seen. I hope Animal Jam never brings them out of store because they are just plain awesome. You have to say they are. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. And oh, by the way, I'm giving away a diamond spike at 90 subscribers, so be sure to subscribe as soon as you can, guys, so you can enter that diamond spike giveaway. Bye, guys.